stop feeling overwhelmed with this tool I'm going to give you right now. What's up, champ? Hope you're having a great day. Another day, another video. A few days ago, I recorded a video on how to stop feeling overwhelmed. It was triangle. We ran over 3 things, asked ourselves 3 critical questions. We did a personal inventory, and then we knocked on the dragon's door. In this video, however, I'm going to help you to prioritize everything that is going on in your life, and just to make sure that you can control the things that are happening up there. Because as the great Seneca says, there is no one else that can control your mind but you. I probably butchered that quote, but he said something along those lines, all right? Life by itself can be extremely overwhelming. Work, kids, relationship, maybe a new relationship, maybe a secret lover on the side, tech things, COVID, blah, 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 masks, no masks, politics, everything gets thrown at you, boom, boom, boom. Really hard to stay focused. So you did your personal inventory. If you haven't watched that video, I suggest you do it. It should be here somewhere, maybe in the description, I don't really know. With that being said, you've done your personal inventory. Now you take all of the things that are occupying your mind, and we're now going to put them to prioritization so it gets easier for you to do it. If you haven't watched the video, don't worry, it's still gonna make sense for you. Let's go down to the iPad. The priority quadrant. 4 boxes within a box. In the top right, we have high, we have medium, we have low, and we have no. Assuming now that you have done a list, a personal inventory list of all the things that are occupying your mind. Work, food, family, wedding, travel, etc., etc. Right? Now you have all of these things that are occupying your mind, and maybe it's just that they're not occupying your mind, but you just moved, for example. So there's just like all of these things are there, and you feel that you have a lot on your plate. Now we're going to take all of these things and we're going to prioritize them. Work, for me personally, it's medium priority, right? So I'm gonna put it in the medium priority box. We have food. That's something I'm really, really serious about right now because I'm training really hard, so I put that into high priority. Family, love them to death. However, I'm not living in Sweden right now, so that's gonna be low priority. Don't tell my family about this. Remember, the personal inventory list is for you. Nobody else needs to know about it. All right? It's our secret. Don't worry about it. We have a wedding coming up. Damn, that's really high priority for me. I have travel, not traveling anything right now. And then we have etc. number 1, that is medium priority. And then maybe we have that is here. And for the sake of it, let's just change this to politics, all right? Politics, and we also add in news. That in your mind, you have decided that travel, politics, and news, this is no priority for you right now. Why? Because you want to focus on your wedding. You want to focus on food. You want to focus on training. You want to focus on self-love. So think about this now. These are things you don't want to spend too much time thinking on. These are things you really want to spend time thinking on. Make sense? Remember now, you cannot delete a thought. Very important. If you thought something, it's impossible for you to delete it. That's not what I say when I talk about thought control, controlling your mind. You cannot delete it, but you can change it. Big difference. You cannot delete it, but you can replace it. Very, very big difference. Imagine a scenario, here's an analogy. Imagine a scenario when you come in and you buy something on sale. You're really excited, you bought it on sale, you take it home with you and you try it on. It's a jacket, you try your jacket on and it's like, it doesn't look as good as it did in the store. You go back to the store and you decide to, you know what, I don't want this anymore, I want my money back. I want to delete this purchase. And then the cashier looks over, you know what, sweetheart, you can't delete this purchase, you can't get your money back. However, what I can give you is that you can replace it, you can replace the item. Your thoughts is exactly the same thing. And what I mean with that is that whenever you find yourself during the day spending a lot of time down here where you shouldn't be mentally, I want you to, every time you think about your news, I want you to say to yourself, wait, this is not in my priority. I'm going to replace this thought with self-love. Thinking about things that I love about myself, or think about training, or think about my wedding, for example. Cool? So you make a conscious decision that news gets replaced by wedding. Maybe you're trying to overcome heartbreak. So whenever you're thinking about your ex, you decide that you're not going to think about your ex because thinking about your ex is not priority, and you are now going to focus on self-love instead. Right? So thoughts about your ex comes up in your mind. You say to yourself, I'm not going to spend time here because I know this is not high priority. But what is high priority is how much I love about myself. So when you start to think about him and you start to think about all the negatives he put you through, you stop and you say to yourself, you know what? I'm better off without this guy. So what are the things that I really love about myself? Maybe my eyelashes, maybe the color of my skin, maybe my respiratory system, maybe the blood in my veins. You come up with new things. You replace a negative thought with a positive thought. We have done the mental priority quadrant. Don't spend time down here when it's a lot better to spend time up here. These are the things you want to focus on. That's the mental priority quadrant. How to deal with overwhelmness. Use this, I promise you. Again, be consistent with it. Replace one thought with another, and throughout time, your brain is automatically going to, when you think about your ex without you knowing, subconsciously, boom, you're going to think about how much you love yourself instead of spending time thinking about someone that you don't really want to be with anyway. Cool? That's the mental priority quadrant. Do it right now. Remember, as always, by dancers for dancers.